Today I'll talk about cohort study design. Epidemiological study designs can be longitudinal studies or cross-section studies. Cross-section studies are used to study point prevalence and descriptive features. Longitudinal studies include case control study and cohort study. So, epidemiological studies are analytical studies, which are comparative studies for testing a hypothesis. A cohort study is usually prospective and it begins with an exposure, for example, a smoker and non-smokers, whereas case control study is retrospective in nature and begins with outcome, for example, cancer cases and healthy controls. So what is a cohort? A cohort is an ancient Roman military unit of 300 to 600 men, a group of soldiers marching forward in a battle. In statistical term, cohort is a group of persons who have certain condition or are exposed to certain situation. Cohort does not possess the outcome or disease at the start of observation. This is very important to understand. And cohort is followed till certain time. So, in cohort study, a population without having an outcome of our interest is divided into two groups, exposed and non-exposed, and these are followed for certain period of time for development of the outcome or disease. So prospective cohort study can be prospective in nature, for example, these two scenarios, and it can be retrospective in nature, but it always start from the exposure to disease occurrence. What are the advantages and disadvantages of cohort study? These are the advantages of cohort study. It can establish population-based incidence and accurate relative risk estimation can be done. It can examine rare exposure, for example, asbestos causing lung cancer, and temporal relationships can be inferred from cohort study because it is a prospective study design usually, and multiple outcomes can be studied. For example, smoking can cause multiple outcomes, and these can be studied in cohort study as compared to case control study. There are certain disadvantages of cohort studies. They are lengthy and expensive and may require very large samples, not suitable for rare diseases, and they are also not suitable for disease with long latency. Unexpected environmental changes may influence the association. Non-response migration and loss to follow-up biases are possible in cohort studies because they are prospective follow-up studies. Sampling, ascertainment, and observation biases are still possible. How we analyze the data in cohort study. This is a hypothetical cohort study data where 8 individuals who are exposed develop disease as compared to one individual who developed disease from non-exposed group. And given that the cohort was followed for 5 years. So incidence among exposed is 37.2 per thousand and incidence among non-exposed is 3.5 per thousand. So risk ratio is 10.63. Risk difference can also be calculated and rate can be calculated in per person year unit. Uh, Odds ratio can also be calculated from cohort study data. So odds of disease in exposed group is given by probability of disease divided by probability of non-disease in exposed group. Similarly, odds of disease in non-exposed group can be calculated and its ratio is known as odds ratio. So this is all for today. Thank you.